Hey guys, Toxic here with the Bile and Blood campaign from Allies Index. With me is Seb,
Hello.
and we have the very final mission of the Bile and Blood campaign, Mission 5B. Seb?
We have, as a last-ditch attempt from Tanglefoot himself, emerging from the warp after getting sucked into the warp rift with some new demon buddies, and making an attempt to take down some pillars and really cause a bit of destruction in the Hive world before he turns tail and heads back to his ship.
Yep, so we got some special rules for this mission. We have as you can see, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pillars. If Chaos can hold 3 pillars by the end of the game, we will be doing, what do you call it? The turns where they could stop and then they could keep going.
Oh, right, yeah. Variable game.
Yeah, variable game length. We also have this Greater Demon of Nurgle. He has a special rule where it's basically like the Necron Tomb Spider, Necron or Canoptic Spider, where he can add a base of Nurglings to this unit that's in front of him.
They're belching out from his stomach and stuff.
But on a roll of a 1, he does hurt himself. We then have the gate, the warp rift that Ribald Tanglefoot has managed to get a hold of and basically get it to focus and allow him access out of it. He's led a unit of, a mini force of demons out with him. Now, we're going to roll for that like reserves, where basically at turn 2 it has a chance of just ripping free again and just starting to suck stuff back into it. At that point, what we're going to do is we're going to roll a d6 for 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quadrants of the board, or sections of the board, and then we're just going to deep strike it into the middle of that section, and we'll scatter it 2d6 to see where it goes. And it does, I guess for the first one it doesn't have to scatter, but every turn after that, it will be moving around, scattering around the board, sucking things in.
That's a lot of random possibility of that going anywhere. Sucking anything in.
It could do absolutely nothing. It could land on my Land Raider and suck everyone and the Land Raider inside into the warp.
To be fair, it came second in one game. It wants the win, I think.
It very much could as well, so we'll see what happens. So you want to go over your army a little bit, Seb?
Yeah, so I've got Ribald Tanglefoot. He's got all the trimmings, anything, pretty much, most things he can have. He has got mud bombs, power axe, sigil of corruption, and all that good stuff. We've got the Hellbrute Slippery Jack, who also got sucked into the portal with his missile launcher and Trident las cannon. We've got a Grey and Clean one, who is a Psycho level 3, so not only is he kind of pooping out Nurglings, he's got all sorts of malefic demon summoning powers to boot, which could be fun. And in reserve, we've also got 6 Plague Drones with Plaguebringer, Rot Probosces, and Death Heads to give them a bit more shooty and poison goodness. And in reserve, we've got 7 Beasts of Nurgle, hopefully deep striking in to give some death hugs to some people soon.
And I have an Inquisitorial Land Raider with Inquisitor Shavek and Corvus Rixz inside, with 3 Death Cult Assassins, 3 Cultists, and a Flamer-wielding Acolyte Desmond. We also have 2 Assassins, a Chaldeus and a Calixtus Assassin, and then we have some special reserves that Seb doesn't even know about yet. So
I'm already concerned about the Assassins, so...
So, you may have noticed in the story time I said that there was going to be PDF forces. Well, that was the idea. And Corvus did go to Gallus Hastis and demanded that he get some troops, some help in the form of a local PDF force. He couldn't tell them why, as, first of all, he wouldn't understand the threat of demons. People in the Imperium don't know that demons are a thing. If he did tell him, he would then have to either kill him or mind wipe him, so he would then forget about the demons. Assuming that the spread didn't actually infect the whole hive, and you would have to just blow the whole hive up. So he was trying to convince Hastis of what was happening, but he eventually just gave up trying to argue with this stubborn old man, and just got his warband, Shavek, and jumped in his own personal Land Raider, and dropped it down on planet, and is just going to try and take on this thing, basically with just him, his warband, and some assassins, and maybe a little bit of help. So yeah, anything before we kind of move on, Seb?
No, I'm just really concerned about what that is you've got coming in.
Okay, so Chaos does have turn 1, so we'll be back after Chaos turn 1. End of turn 1, Chaos, throwing it over to Seb.
Yep, so we kind of manoeuvred in position. The plague drones zoomed up to get themselves in a nice position on the Land Raider. Super Jack poked out from behind the pillar, took a few pot shots, but didn't really do anything. Tanglefoot is launching himself forward, trying to take out the... Is it the Calixus? Yes, the Calixus assassin, which is going to get complicated with psychic stuff, so he wants to get rid of that. And the Grey and Clean one pooped out another base of Nurglings, and they started meandering their way forward, maybe dragging some of his insides with them as they go.
Okay, so here we go, turn 1. I'm going to roll it now, because my reserves can start arriving from turn 1. Might be a giveaway at this point, I'm going to roll it. They are in. Are you ready, Seb?
Yeah. I'm not.
Well, here's the fluff behind it. Knowing of the imminent Daemon Incursion, Corvus, just to be careful, to tie up loose ends, should the Space Wolves not be enough against the Fermenters, contacted the aid of his friends at the 666th chapter.
Ah.
So, he actually has, they got there just in time, in their ship, a squad of Grey Knights, and as the battle commences, the beam of teleportation strikes down, and a squad of, 5-man squad of Terminators and a Librarian emerge onto the battlefield.
Nice.
So
Well, not
we'll,
so nice for me.
Yeah. So we'll come back at that, and the reason for them becoming turn 1 is the Nemesis Strike Force. That's actually the rule that they get to start rolling on turn 1. But we'll come back after Inquisition turn 1. Okay, end of Inquisition turn 1. The Grey Knights did drop down, tried to do some psychic powers. The Librarian tried to do a Vortex of Doom and ended up failing and paralyzing and taking a wound. The rest fired into the Greater Demon, causing some wounds too, I believe. And then the Librarian also tried to purge the soul of the Greater Demon, actually managing to suck out part of his soul and deal a wound. The fight here between the Assassin and the Lord. The Assassin had Ribal down to a killing blow, and then his, what's it called?
Sigil of Corruption.
Managed to save the killing blow. Shavek and Corvus came out of their Land Raider to take on the Plague Drones. They managed to rip them apart in combat. Unfortunately, old Desmond fell trying to protect the Death Cult assassins from the incoming attacks from the remaining Plague Drones. So,
But valiant he was, though.
yeah, and we'll roll to see if he actually dies or not, because I think by this stage he's a minor character. He caused 3 wounds in that one turn with his flamer and close combat attacks, but only 1 wound actually managed to go through. So we'll see if he comes back or if he is in fact dead after the game. But we got Chaos turn 2 coming up. Okay, end of Chaos turn 2. Throwing it over to Seb.
So the Warp Storm, the portal, tore free of its tether is from Tanglefoot's control, and roamed around the board and ended up in the bottom left, looking like it was trying to suck Slippery Jack in, because it literally landed like inches from his necrotic toes. So he kind of shambled away from it and took another couple of shots at the Land Raider. while kind of basically leaning on leaning up against the pillar, to no avail. The Great and Clean One popped out another set of Nurgling bases, tried to bring in some stuff, failed, but did manage to get cursed earth off to give all the demons a better save before crashing into the Grey Knights with the Nurglings. All the Nurglings went down in close combat, but they did manage to do a little bit, inflict a few wounds, and in the challenge, the Great and Clean One managed to smush the Librarian.
He did save an instant deathing attack, though. The Librarian did come down with his warding stuff and deal a wound, but the Great and Clean One did save the force attack.
I like to think that even with that, the bulk and the size of a Great and Clean One, that was one of these weirdly ethereal demon dodges.
Yep. Your HQ also did manage to save his the third of the game, instant death attack.
Yep, Tanglefoot is not going down to that assassin until he's ready.
Okay, so we got Inquisition turn 2 coming up. Okay, end of Inquisition turn 2. The Greater Demon's really doing work on those Grey Knights. I had 5 Warp Charge, managed to fail all of my psychic abilities, so no Force, no Hammer Hand, and they got eat up. Now we only have the unwieldy weapon left, so he's probably going to die before he's going to get a chance to use it.
Yeah, that Great and Clean One's taking it to church.
Yeah. And then the Assassins again got an instant death attack, and Rybold managed to save it again. But apart from that, not too much is happening. And then the Land Raider with the Inquisitor moved forwards. So
that the Land Raider and the Hellbrute, like, it's like they actually don't want to hurt each other, like they're buddies, because nothing is happening between them.
Yep. But Chaos turn 3's coming up. We'll see if something does happen. End of Chaos turn 3. Before I throw it over to Seb, I just like to point out that the Grey Knights have fallen, so Inquisitor Corvus is kind of ace up his sleeve. Didn't plan out. Seb?
Yep, so let's start with the least interesting moves, more interesting. The Hellbrute stumbled forward again, tried to fire at the Land Raider. Still nothing happening going on. We had some Beast of Nurgle deep strike. They were hoping to get near that middle pillar, but they ended up further off to the left than they expected. Oh, also the Warp's Rift actually managed to march itself off the board, so that will be coming in at a random place next turn. The Great and Clean One, as Toxic said, managed to mop up the last of his Grey Knights.
Actually didn't move off the board. I think you just used it as the scatter for your thing. Didn't it just come down here to, like, behind that? Isn't that what it did? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it went up before and then came back on, and then I used it as a scatter. Oops.
Yeah, so I think it landed here and then it moved probably about here. I think it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
The first time it moved towards one of your models.
Yeah.
And then I move it away. Why am I trying to help you? They went to combat with the Lord, and he saved another instant death in Vulnerable Madness before taking 2 wounds from the other assassin, who phased into him and stabbed him with his katana, whatever it is, blade it is now. And then he managed to do 2 wounds to the assassin that he wants to take down, but still refusing. So there's a lot of refusal going on in that combat.
Yes. It's looking, I mean, fairly grim for the Inquisition. I mean, if they can wipe out a couple more units, like, the grand scheme of things, the last kind of screw you will be ruined. But I mean, the consequences of not being able to take down the Greater Demon is going to be pretty dire.
Yeah, and I like to think that if everyone gets wiped out, that if it was even just the beasts or just the Hellbrute, I think on their own they could eventually take the pillars down if they're unmolested.
Mm-hmm.
But we will see.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll go into Inquisition turn 3. End of Inquisition turn 3. The Land Raider saw the more demons incoming and decided to soften them up before the Inquisitors and retinue assaulted out and did 3 wounds and didn't kill a single one. So that's going to be slow going, so they're probably just going to have to assault and hope for some good rolls on their behalf and bad rolls from the other ones. I also forgot that there was a I actually forgot to roll it in general, so we should probably roll that now. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 off the table. And the Ribald Tanglefoot finally fell to the assassins, and they're splitting up, going their separate ways to try and get rid of these demons. So turn 4, Chaos coming up. End of Chaos turn 4, Seb.
So, Slippery Jack is just drunk and again firing pot shots at the Land Raider, doing nothing. The beasts, being the far more ordered and sensible creatures that they are than a Hellbrute, decided to spread out a bit and capture an objective. The old Great and Clean one pooped out on the Nurgling, who's making his way making their way to get another pillar. While the Green one charged the annoying skull-faced warp-charged assassin of annoyedness, the Calexus, and managed to dodge and evade its attacks, but do 1 wound. So maybe that sodding assassin might die this game. or actually, I say this game, this sodding campaign.
Okay, so Inquisition turn 4 coming up. Okay. So, if you've ever versed someone that plays demons, you know that they have about a 5-up invulnerable save. Seb, how do you roll a 5-up invulnerable save?
You roll a 5-up invulnerable save with a 5 or a 6.
Yeah. And how many of those have you made so far?
An inordinate amount. All my invulnerable saves, pretty much.
Yeah, Father Nurgle has been looking over these his little babies today.
Yep.
Again, we tried to get off a psychic power using 6 dice, and I didn't get anything over a 4, which was fun. And then he used an orbital bombardment, which scattered 10 inches away. We did get some lucky shots from the assault cannon onto the dreadnought, which manages to kill it. And then the assassin finished off that little Nurgling that was going for the objective.
I'm trying not to die with laughter over here.
And more nothingness in the combat between the assassin and the greater demon.
Yeah.
So turn 5, Chaos coming up.
Yep.
End of Chaos turn 5, Seb.
So Beast decided that they needed to get the soft and squidgy guys that got out of the Land Raider. So they leapt upon them and ate the entirety of the Inquisitor's retinue. There's just the 2 Inquisitors left, I believe.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. And then the Greater Demon and the Assassins just poured at each other and failed to do anything. The Warp Storm came on and moved, but not really towards anything, not really affected anything this game.
Yep, so turn 5 coming up. Well, what we've decided is that at the end of turn 5 we will roll to see if it ends, but then we'll also have a roll, it's not really the end, we're going to keep going, and we're going to have a roll that's going to basically be how long the demons stay in the physical realm before dispersing.
It's like another form of demonic instability, but not from close combat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically just going to be until everything fades away. So yeah, so we're going to go into Inquisition turn 5 now. Okay, end of Inquisition turn 5. The combat between the Nurgle beasts and the Inquisitors is getting kind of dire. Shayvek taking 1 wound, and Corvus Rixz in his Terminator armor took 2. So they're close to death. However, the Assassins finally got an instant death shot on the Greater Demon, finishing him off. So it's not looking great for the old demons. I just realized I also forgot to roll this thingy here, so that would have gone 4 inches that way anyway. We're gonna roll the dice to see if the game ends. So on a 1 or if it starts to end, if the demons start to try and start fleeing. So on a 1 to 2, Seb.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope.
No, they're going strong. So we're going into turn 6. Okay, end of the game. I think this is at like turn 6 Chaos? Turn 7 Chaos? Turn 7 Chaos, yeah. So we basically just had the fight between the Inquisitors and the Beasts. Unfortunately, on the second round of combat, the Inquisitors did not get their force off, so they kind of struggled getting through the beasts. And the beast did enough wounds to eventually fail the saves and take down both Inquisitors.
But Shevek kind of laid herself down for Corvus to survive that little bit longer.
Yeah, being the stronger of the two, you know. But we'll see we'll roll and see what happens to them now. They weren't wounded or like minorly wounded or majorly wounded, so they are both main characters. So they do need to get a 9 to fail, and so it's impossible. And this is the last game, so it really doesn't matter. But it will be interesting to see if if it's a minor wounded or majorly wounded. So
this will be the only thing I've done in anything too that's a named character, so it definitely matters to me.
So Shevek 4, so she's majorly wounded, and Corvus 1. He escapes unharmed.
What a Rixz.
So yeah, that was the last game.
And Desmond.
Oh, Desmond, yes, he is a minor character, so he could die. No, he's just majorly wounded.
Good old Desmond.
So the Inquisitors are definitely kind of licking their bruises after, licking their wounds after this battle. It was a victory. It was a very close fought victory, though.
Yeah, it was all over the place. It was a really weird.
It was very up and down.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. You actually got angry at a few moments
Because of those saves.
Felt good for me.
It was your fucking demon saves.
Those invulnerable saves were insane.
The game would have been so much different if it statistically. Obviously, you can't rely on statistics, especially in a game like this. But statistically, that's what frustrates me the most.
Every demon was in a Terminator armor.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
That's what frustrates me the most. It's like this should not be happening. But it was a good game. It was very hard fought, and yeah, the Inquisitions definitely did kind of pay a price there, but eventually the demons back to the warp. Oh, you do have to roll for Rival Tanglefoot because he did go down, but he's not injured or anything, so he's majorly wounded.
Majorly wounded, back to his ships with the rest of his fermenters, and the last few dregs of the Viscicrudes to lick their festering wounds.
Yeah, so I imagine the Inquisitors are getting piled on by the Nurgle beast, and they're trying to fight their way through, and just Rival takes his brutal blow by the assassin and decides to just beam back to his ship, and he just flips them both the bird as he teleports back up to the Fermenter's cruiser.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And Slippery Jack got blown up, but the more I think about it, the more Slippery Jack might just be one of those titles that that's given to my older Hellbrutes. But obviously we're going to do the story time and stuff. But should we do a quick check? I want to see, because obviously this was a failed mission for the Fermenters. So we did 5 sets of missions, 2 missions apiece, A and B. Mm-hmm. Fermenters 1 mission 1, A. So that's 9-1 to the PDF Inquisition and Space Wolves, I do believe.
8-1.
8-1.
Yeah, because 1A there was no 1B.
Ah, okay, 8-1. Yes,
yeah.
There was only
But that's not the point of the narrative campaigns.
Oh no, of course.
But it was really fun, and there's definitely a lot of potential to be had.
Definitely, I think this is just the beginning of campaigns and the way we're going to make the universe our own universe.
And we'll get better at not necessarily balancing it, because you don't want them balanced, and that is probably what we did. Wrong in that there was too many that were balanced. But we'll do a wrap up later, and we'll kind of talk about it a little bit more. But we'll definitely get better at doing campaigns, make them a little bit more enjoyable to watch. Not that this wasn't enjoyable, but make them a little bit closer.
Stimulating. Yeah.
Right now, it was fun. Any final words before we wrap up Mission 5B?
The Fermenters will be back. That's what I've got to say. That they will be back to fight another day. Maybe not in the numbers.
Do you have a name for that greater demon?
I didn't actually. I'll come up with something. By the time we do the story,
you could call him Putretin or whatever that one was.
Oh yeah, Putretin. Yeah, Putretin.
Because
great demon.
Because he killed a Terminator Grey Knight Librarian and a squad of 5 Terminators, and then
Yeah.
got taken down to a freaking annoying assassin. God, that thing's annoying.
And there was 4? We pumped out about 4
Yeah.
things in the end.
Nearly got that one to take. I didn't even realize it, and I was like, no, I know what he's doing. He's trying to pump out Nurglings to take down that pillar. I was like, not having that.
But yeah, no, epic stuff. And yeah, like I said, looking forward to more campaigns. And it won't just be Inquisition and Space Wolves. There's been obviously more Inquisition and more Grey Knights as their own thing, but there'll be Dark Angels and Tyranids, Necrons, and all sorts of different things we'll be trying out at different times.
But we all know that the Inquisition are the best enemy. I mean,
We all
good
know that
guys.
you're their bitch.
Oh, Seb. What I could say about you and your demonic chaos gods. We'll see who has the tighter collar.
Nurgle is my homeboy.
That's after this battle, I can see that, but some of the other battles are he definitely did not look like he famous.
No, this is very true. This is very true. But yeah, I look forward to kind of catching up, unpacking, and seeing where we leave off when we do the story time next time.
Yep. So once again, this has been the final mission of the Bile and Blood campaign, brought to you by Allies Index. My partner in this campaign has been Seb.
Oh yeah.
If you are watching this on YouTube, remember that we do have a Tumblr page, alliesindex.com. And if you are watching this on Tumblr, we do have a YouTube channel that we could do some support on there, so definitely check that out, subscribe. But once again, I'm Toxic, this is Seb. And,
Whoop.
like always, have a good one.
Bye.